I'm so sorry, ma'am. I know you need this medicine, but it looks like it's not covered by your insurance.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to deny that one.
Wait, who are you?
I'm your insurance company's pharmacy benefit manager. I get paid based on the price of a medicine, and I don't make as much money off this one.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 1040. 5 games for your brain to make your work more fun, by Karl Staib of dig2fly.com. And I'm your narrator, Dan, with you every single day, including weekends and holidays. And what I do is pretty simple. I read from these great blogs that cover entrepreneurship, and I put them into audio form for you. That's it. It's simple, and we think it's effective, and it gives you a chance to listen to this great content while you're out and about. So let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. 5 games for your brain to make your work more fun, by Karl Staib of dig2fly.com. Your career success is based on how much fun you have in your work. Look at the projects that you're most proud of. It's most likely you enjoyed the work itself as well as the results. You were able to find the best mindset for the tasks you needed to do in order to complete your project, and you had an emotional connection to your work. It's this connection that needs to happen naturally, or you need to manufacture, in order to maximize your career success. I'm currently putting the finishing touches on a project I call Unlock Your Career Happiness. I want to help you bring more energy to your work so you can improve your results and level up your career. I recently hit a wall, and I feel the fear rising as I get closer to putting something out there for people to see and use, and therefore judge. I remembered an article that I read over at Nerd Fitness about gamifying my life. Why games work. As a kid, you probably loved games. You felt the rush of joy as you were close to winning. There is something engaging about taking on a challenge that we are not quite sure we can reach. Creating this feeling in your career to boost your motivation and productivity is a time-honored technique that more people should use. I use games to encourage and motivate myself to take action. Here are 5 of my favorite games. 1. The Time Crunch game. You understand the importance of time. It's a finite resource that will run out at some point in our lives. It's why the Time Crunch game is one of my favorites. It improves focus and productivity. Next time you have a project to do and you're procrastinating, bring out a timer, set it for 20 minutes, and focus on your work until the timer goes off. You know how hard it is just to get started sometimes. We hold on to all this emotional baggage which holds us back from taking action. This game sets your mind on focusing on the task at hand. And there will be many times that you just keep working. But that's the point. Sometimes the hardest part is starting something. 2. The movie game. There are times that you will look at a task and feel the torture before it starts. We all have tasks we can't stand, no matter if we are at the bottom or top of the career totem pole. The key to being a top performer is treating each task as if it's important to your career. This is easy to say, but hard to do all the time. I had to stuff 2,500 marketing bags for a huge conference for a company that I used to work for. I stuffed them with our newsletter, pens, little flashlights, and postcards. I couldn't even tell you the total amount of time it took to stuff all those bags. The only way I got through it was by playing mental games. One of my favorite movie games was pretending to be Bruce Lee as I stuffed each bag. Each movement was precise and perfectly calculated. It forced me to be in the moment instead of worrying how many more bags I had to stuff. 3. The acting game. There are times we all feel a little inferior as I try to complete the task at hand. Heck, we can't be good at everything. Focus is a big problem of mine, which I know is a difficulty for many of you as well. Instead of beating myself up and letting my arch nemesis dictate how I feel, I play the acting game instead. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I pretend I'm Bill Gates. I've read stories of how expansive and quick his mind is. He is able to process and act on information faster than most people. I adjust my glasses if I have them on, I hunch over just a little, and I start to think of myself as Bill Gates. Then I get back to the task and it comes much easier to me. I eventually fall out of character within 10 to 15 minutes, but now I'm back on track and I'm much more productive. 4. The internal challenge game. Every game needs to keep score. How many enemies you've killed or how many coins you've been able to collect. Every time you play, you are measuring yourself against previous tries. When I feel stuck while trying to write an article, I time myself to see how fast I can get to 100 words. I used to keep a record of how fast I could get to 100. Now I just use this game to spark my motivation, and I'm off and running and reaching 1,000 words before I know it. Next time you are stuck, try setting small, little attainable goals that you can measure. Then keep track of how you improve from previous efforts. And 5, the freeze time game. You've probably wished you could freeze time. I know I have. How cool would it be to be able to freeze time, try something new that might not work, and if it doesn't work, you can just unfreeze time and continue with the original action you were working on. This game is wonderful for finding a better mindset for doing a tedious or difficult task. For example, you are about to finish up a report and send it to your boss. As you look it over, you see a way you could improve the report. You could create 2 graphs to back up your ideas. You already feel stressed about the report and feel you have spent too much time on it. You aren't sure if the graphs will help. You then remember you have the ability to freeze time. Lucky you. You freeze time and create the graphs. If you create the graphs and they don't help, then no big deal. You didn't lose any time. You unfreeze time and send off the report. Too often we get caught up in trying to make perfect use of our time, which we all know isn't possible. So this game gives us the attitude that we don't need to be perfect in our execution and helps us make sure that we deliver the best possible results. You just listened to the post titled 5 Games for Your Brain to Make Your Work More Fun by Karl Staib of dig2fly.com.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I know you need this medicine, but it looks like it's not covered by your insurance.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to deny that one.
Wait, who are you?
I'm your insurance company's pharmacy benefit manager. I get paid based on the price of a medicine, and I don't make as much money off this one.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by pharma.
You're always looking for ways to improve the speed and organization of your work. But if you're still jumping between 50 tabs just to do your job, then maybe you haven't found the right tool yet. That's where Notion comes in. And today, I'm excited to share that they just launched Notion Projects, which includes new, powerful ways to manage projects and leverage the power of their built-in AI features too. Notion Projects combines project management with your docs, knowledge base, and AI, so you can stop jumping between tools, stop paying too much for them, and use automation to help you succeed. In just one workspace, you can do everything you need to get your projects over the finish line, from brainstorming to drafting launch plans to organizing sprints and keeping everyone on deadline. Do your most efficient work with Notion Projects. You can try it for free today at notion.com/OSD. That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/OSD. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. So go right now to notion.com/OSD. And thanks so much to Karl for letting us share his work quite regularly here on OSD. And a little bit about him, Karl helps entrepreneurs understand their struggles and then turn them into stepping stones, which is something that he knows quite a lot about. In 2010, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer and then was laid off from his job a short time later. And while those were difficult situations, he calls them blessings in disguise. And since then, he stopped doing work that doesn't fit with his passions and instead now focuses on things he truly cares about. Karl is the author of the book Bring Gratitude and has a lot to offer on his site, so please come check it out at dig2fly.com, and I have that linked in this episode's description. And if you're wondering, dig to fly means dig deep to fly high. There's also a podcast that goes along with the site, and you can find the Dig to Fly podcast wherever you get your audio. And that's going to do it for today here on Optimal Startup Daily. If you're listening in real time, hope you're having a great weekend. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for the Monday show, which is where your optimal life awaits.